Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Jeff's baking blog. Today I'm going to be making a basic chocolate chip cookie. Very simple, and it doesn't take very long at all. And this is just a basic biscuit or cookie dough with chocolate chips put into it and then baked. So I've had my oven preheating at 190 Celsius, that's 170 Celsius with a fan, 375 Fahrenheit, and I've lined a couple of baking trays with parchment paper. So I'll go on to the ingredients, and for the ingredients I have 225 grams, which is 1.5 cups, based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup of plain flour. I have 150 grams, which is 11 tablespoons minus 1 teaspoon of softened unsalted butter. I have 80 grams, which is 5 tablespoons of light brown sugar, 80 grams, 5 tablespoons of caster sugar or granulated sugar. I have half a teaspoon of baking soda, bicarbonate of soda. I have 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and I have 1 large egg, which would be extra large in the USA. Now, if you don't have a large egg, if you only have medium or large in the USA, use that and add a little drop of milk instead into the batter as you're mixing it until it comes to the consistency that we achieve here. I also have 200 grams, which is just about 1 cup of chocolate chips, and I'm using semi-sweet or dark chocolate chips, 54% cocoa solids, but you can use whatever chips you want basically. And the first thing to do is to cream the butter and the sugars together. And I'm going to use my hand mixer to do this, but you can do it by hand. And so that's nice and creamy now. And I should say, I forgot to mention, I also have 1/4 teaspoon of salt to go into the mixture. So what I'm going to do is put my egg in and the vanilla extract, and I'm going to mix those to get those combined as well. So with that mixed in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the salt and the baking soda into the flour, and I'm going to give those a mix around. And then I'm going to put that in, and I'm simply going to mix that until it's come together on a low speed. So that's almost mixed together, and I'll finish that off by hand. So that's good enough, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the chocolate chips in, and I'm going to mix that until they're fairly well distributed throughout the dough. And with the dough mixed with the chocolate chips in, I'm going to take a good 26 grams, about this amount, 26 to 27 grams, and I'm going to put it onto the baking tray like that, and I'm going to leave space in between each one because they will spread. And there I have 2 trays. I still have some more batter left, but I think I'm actually going to put that into a plastic bag and freeze that so I can do that later. So I'll bake these off for between 8 and 10 minutes until the edges are just beginning to turn a brown colour and they're still soft in the middle. I'll take them out and then leave them to cool on the rack for 5 minutes. Then leave them to cool on the trays for 5 minutes. Then I'll put them onto a wire rack to cool down completely, and I'll come back and show you the results. I baked the chocolate chip cookies for 10 minutes. I took them out of the oven and left them on the tray for a few minutes. Then I put them onto a wire rack and cooled them down. And this is what they look like. So they've baked very well, and they're sort of firm on the outside but should be soft and chewy on the inside. I'll have a taste of this one. Yep, that tastes very, very good. Obviously you get the hit of the chocolate and the nice soft cookie texture as well. So this is a very simple recipe, very basic. You could add to it by putting some chopped nuts in if you wanted to, or some dried fruit. You could flavour the dough with chocolate as well. I don't think it needs it. I think that amount of chocolate is just very good for me. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below the video and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for this recipe, and I'll put a link for it below the video, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.